Hey guys, this is V-Man from No Budget Productions. Sorry for starting so late. Hi Bandit, how are we doing, man? He says start. you're you're absolutely right. So I want to start off with apologizing for being so late. I have not talked with Zam in what seems like fucking forever. Uh, and we were just chatting and having a good old time talking about um, common goals and common angst. Um, I fucking missed
Yes,
you, Sam. How are you doing, my friend?
I am doing all right actually. Life is very standard, and nothing necessarily new to report regarding anything else going in it, other than it's just another day, another dollar. But I'm doing okay. I could be a lot worse. I'm trying to make changes, as we spoke about prior to kicking off. But yeah, I'm doing okay. How about you?
Well, just like you, man. You got your ups and you got your downs. But I think like we were saying before the show, as, as long as we're staying alive, that's we could take the bad, that's the important thing, because we've lost. At least I know I have. I've lost too many friends to the past 2 years. This goddamn pandemic. It's terrible. And because of other people's ignorance of just doing whatever the hell they want. It's like as long as we're alive, we got we're breathing, we're doing. It's like we can get through the tough times for us. So and I needed a break from YouTube and everything to clear my mind. And part of that was no communication with a lot of people. But it is fucking good to see you, man. And you surpassed the 2,000 mark on your YouTube channel, man. Something I knew you guys were going to do pretty quickly. Congratulations, man. You and Cheeto and well, you guys have a couple other people on your channel. A couple people I've talked to on streams. um, you guys, congratulations, man. How does that milestone? How does that feel, man? To hit so many with all the content you guys have put out. I mean, it's not surprising.
Oh, thank you very much. The people who've contributed has been yourself, Steve, who's in the chat. People who watch us like Bandit as well. It's No Budget Productions, it's Avalon, it's other YouTube channels as well. I've been on as a guest or as a contributor myself, and they've helped us get where we are. I mean, obviously we put in the miles and stuff like that. What hitting the first 1,000 for us was amazing because we it took us about 2 3 years to get there. We started 2019, but the second like hitting 2,000, that came a lot quicker than I anticipated.
Yeah,
Um, I'm not necessarily like doing cartwheels over it. Of course I'm happy. That
yeah,
goes without saying. That goes without saying. But I'm already seeing ahead now. I just wish our views and on what we do match to a degree with the amount of subscribers we have. But nevertheless, I'm very happy that we are growing as a channel and we surpassed that, being able to do monetization now. Cheeto started a Patreon on the channel as well. We want to get noticed. We want to get recognized. My God, do I spam? And I'm not afraid to admit that. You've got to get your shit out there. Because people are not necessarily typing in looking for NerdTube. They're going to go to Emergency Awesome. They're going to go to New Rock Stars. They're going to go to Nerdist. These are the usual places to go to. They're going to go to Trek Yards when it comes to Star Trek. They're not going to come to us. So I try to make sure that we get noticed. Are you frozen by any chance? I think you might be. I think we have a frozen Vance here. I'm wondering why you're so stationary. But if you guys can still hear me, I'll continue. But yeah, we do what we can, and we get ourselves noticed, and we a jack of all trades, and I like to say a master of all trades. I myself, I try to find that niche that I'm hoping that a lot of other people are looking for in a YouTube channel. recently I've been getting into my Korean dramas. I watched Parasite. If you haven't seen that movie, please do. Absolutely fantastic. Obviously, Train to Busan is arguably the greatest zombie movie ever made. When it comes to the television shows, I was watching Squid Game, which is understandable why it became such a viral sensation. And most recently, I watched a television series called The Silent Sea, which is a Korean drama set on the moon, on the moon base. So like moon base shenanigans and all of that. And I spread that out. There was a an Indian um, superhero film which I was hoping would be good, but I absolutely despised. But nevertheless, I reviewed it and gave my opinion on it. So I'm always looking for that thing just to make us stick our heads above the sand and make us get noticed, because everyone's doing Book of Boba Fett,
Yeah.
everyone's doing Peacemaker. You know what I mean? So even everyone's doing fucking Star Trek too. There's sci-fi fanatics and all these other guys too. So yeah, but nevertheless, this is what we love doing. This is what these are the things we enjoy. Even soccer as well. Like we talk about it. There was a scandal recently with this one guy who was a relatively renowned. Sorry if I'm going on too much, but there's one guy. His name is DT. That's his sort of YouTube name. His real name is Liam Goodenough, and he's a very famous person on YouTube regarding being sort of like a super fan of soccer. He's an Arsenal fan like me, but he's made a name for himself as being a relatively renowned fan. And we found out recently that this guy stalked his ex-girlfriend, kidnapped his ex-girlfriend, and threatened to kill his child or something like that. Like, he used that as a way to get to his ex-girlfriend apparently, but he wasn't going to kill his child. But he just said that, to get his ex-girlfriend to meet him. It's absolutely fuck. But this became a massive scandal. We spoke about it. It got us some fucking views.
Right.
So we do. We do what we can. I love my sport. I'm a big
Yeah.
fan of that. Being an Arsenal fan. Gary Bossman, he's a soccer fan as well. So we talk about that when we can. Recently, we haven't been speaking about it too much. Gary himself is taking a bit of a sabbatical on social media as well.
Well,
So
your guys' shows on
yeah,
wrestling,
yeah,
that's like that's personally, I mean, I enjoy your Star Trek content. I enjoy, because obviously I gravitate more toward that. Um, but hold on just one second. Well, let's give me a call me. Um, but I prefer the wrestling because to me it's one of those things where it's it may be just because I know you guys. Um, but I really enjoy that content because you guys have, you guys come at it from a, you don't come at it from a, I know more than everybody else, and and we have the clicks and the views and the, you guys come at it from a very humble, a very, opinionated, yes, because you guys are hard in your stance, but I relate to it a lot, and talking about, the one time we did the NWO versus DX type thing, to me, it's a very welcoming show. But everything else that you guys have looked at, everyone, like you said, everyone does Star Trek, but not everyone does the wrestling type stuff. I mean, there are some shows out there, but when you find one where the chemistry is good between the people and they are friends and it's not just a job, it shows. I really enjoy the wrestling content that you guys do. But you
yeah. We
were,
got we got a couple. Sorry,
no, go ahead, go ahead.
we got a couple of guys who are with us. One of them is Jose, the guy you met. He's a knowledgeable wrestling fan, been watching wrestling since the late 90s. We have another guy who you haven't met yet. He's in and out with us at times, but my God, this guy's an encyclopedia. He's actually been a wrestling ref in indie wrestling as well. His name is William, also known as Shredder on YouTube. And these guys are encyclopedias of wrestling, and they help because I myself, I'm no longer an avid watcher. I've given up on wrestling for more than
Yeah,
maybe, I think, for about 7 years now.
yeah,
It's been, I'm more of a retro guy. You talk about yesteryear, which is why DX and NWO was good to talk about. Fine, but now people, I hear Jose and William talking on social media about certain wrestlers, and I had no idea that these people are
Yeah.
wrestlers. Apparently, remember Rick Steiner? Steiner Brothers,
Yep.
Scott and Rick Steiner.
Yep.
Rick Steiner's son is wrestling in the WWE, and he's not even under the name of Steiner. He's got a whole different name, but everyone knows him as Rick Steiner's son. I had no fucking idea Rick Steiner had a son, let alone he was wrestling in the WWE. But
Right.
that's how it is now. But you watch wrestling nowadays, and it's so reality TV based.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
just
that's why
yeah.
I enjoy what little I have, and when I say little, I mean smaller than my dick, dude. It's I don't I know little to nothing. But AEW has really hit the spot of what wrestling should be, in terms of great athletes, great matches.
Adult
WWE,
orientated
yeah,
as well.
WWE, it is not any type of,
It's the Disney of wrestling, dude. It's the Disney of wrestling. There's a
yeah,
really good clip of John Moxley, formerly known as Dean Ambrose, and he's come back from rehab, and somebody in the arena shout, he was about to cut his promo after coming back from rehab, and somebody shouted that either drunken idiot or something like that from the stands, and John Moxley in the AEW ring said, shut the fuck up, security, get this guy out the arena, and the whole fans are cheering, because he responded by f bombing this guy,
right,
and I love
yeah,
and even though I don't watch AEW at all, I mean, for me, like, that wrestling moment is gone. It's really I'll be a bit of a voyeur. Obviously, Royal Rumble's coming at the end of the season. I'll have a look at that, for old time's sake and all of that. You always know the next new star is going to come from that usually, and all of that. But nevertheless, it's really hard to get back into the swing of things. Vince McMahon, he is the Donald Trump of wrestling. He's a despicable human being.
yeah,
It's really difficult for me to get behind somebody who, to a degree, his greed and desire to never have an off season and to work these guys to death, because
yeah.
so many wrestlers have died before the age of 50, and some of them in the early 50s. It, it's despicable.
Yeah, like you
Yeah.
said, there's no off season, and I think every show needs that. I mean, as much as it sucks to be away from something that you enjoy, you need that kind of breather, to be away, because it's like, when they say, oh, it's 40, it's season 47 of what, how do you know? It's fucking blurs together,
And these guys never
um,
want to take a break either, because if they take a break, they'll lose their spot. And there's so much politics as well. Like, people who are really talented and the fans love, they don't necessarily get the push they deserve because Vince doesn't love them. If
right.
Vince loves them, yeah, then you will get someone. It made me realize that, no matter how much we clamor for this, we clamor for that, we want this to happen or that to happen. It doesn't make what we want doesn't matter to this company. It's what Vince McMahon wants, and you realize that when you go see people like Damien Sandow fucking getting kicked off. You see Matt Cardona, formerly known as Zack Ryder, getting buried after he tried to promote himself through YouTube before other wrestlers were doing that.
Mm-hmm.
He also has people as independent contractors, so he's not responsible for them. Yet at the same time, these people work for him no matter what, and if they do other things outside of wrestling, he doesn't like it. So if you have a Twitch channel, then you're not allowed to have a Twitch channel, as far as he's concerned. But yeah, you're an independent contractor. Vince McMahon wants his cake and eats it. He wants to own these people. He's got that old-fashioned slave handler mentality. Oh god, I can go on. It really
No,
upsets
you're
me, because this is I went to WrestleMania, dude. In 2008, I went to your country with my best friend in England. He's still my best friend today, but he lives somewhere else now. But we still keep in contact. But we came to America together. We fucking ate lots of junk food. We even found a fucking guy who sold us weed. It was fucking amazing. Yeah. And all of that. Hey, Bandit, how you doing, mate? And we saw fucking WrestleMania and everything. It was a good time. I bought myself a WrestleMania 24 shirt. It was a really good time.
Yeah.
But even then, all of those moments, it's just it don't mean shit now. It's just I just can't stand the product anymore, knowing who fucking runs
it,
it.
it's the same way. I was discussing with one of my friends last night the current state of DC Comics. And I feel like wrestling, at least the WWE side of it, it's kind of the same way with DC Comics, I feel, for the most part. Because he was like, "So what do you think about this? And what do you think about this? And what do you think about this?" And I said, "It is like I grew up a DC fan. I didn't really care for Marvel, but over the years, Marvel has kind of turned me, the movies, not the comic books, but the movies.
Yeah, the MCU. It's just
Yeah,
it's been
yeah.
magical.
But the DC properties, whether it be the comic books or uh, the movies or the CW shows or whatnot, like all the drama behind the scenes and all the drama in front of, like, it is so tiring to be a DC fan. And that's the way I feel about WWE. It is so tiring to be
No
a
progression.
WWE fan. AEW, it looks great, but I just don't have the energy anymore to go back to wrestling
Yeah.
because Vince has put such a sour taste in my mouth for the wrestling business. It's like, I'm good. If this had been 15 years ago when I was starting to walk away, I'd probably jump back on. But when TNA came, I got really enthusiastic,
Yeah, me too.
and then they pissed in my
And
face, and I was like, I'm
Hulk
good.
Hogan came in and ruined it.
It fucking ruined it. Fucking ruined it. Yeah. Bandit says
Just want to say, yeah.
Zam wants
And
mankind, Dude Love, and Cactus Jack.
No, I
What?
didn't meet. I met myself and Ginger Greek. We went to a wrestling stand-up comedy show, and Mick Foley. And this was in London, and Mick Foley was hosting it, and it was really fucking good because everyone there at the time we were still wrestling fans, and everyone there who attended were wrestling fans, and the warm-up acts were proper stand-up comedians who are wrestling fans. So the jokes were wrestling related, and I was dying. I was having stitches in my stomach. Mick Foley himself, he's a talented guy, but he's not a stand-up comedian. And some of the stories he told made us chuckle and laugh a little bit. But the guys who warmed up prior to that, who were wrestling fans and stand-up comedians, my God, they had me dead. I wish I could remember their jokes. I can't remember a single one. But all I remember was just laughing so fucking hard. I thought I was going to have a fucking heart attack. It was great. And Bandit, do I ever take a nap? In my car sometimes. I have power naps. Or sometimes after I've had my dinner, I go into a little bit of a food coma. But it was nice meeting Mick Foley. He's a big guy, by the way. He's fucking huge. Hey, William. How you doing, mate? Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Once again, it's people within No Budget Productions who's contributed to us getting to this landmark. Whether we would have made it with them or without them, without them, we'll never know. But we did make it with them, and that's why I'm very happy to mention them when it comes to where we are at this moment in time as a YouTube channel.
Well, I think the thing that I love most about your channel, like I said, you guys, I obviously I can't watch every show because you guys put out so much content. It's hard to keep up. But like I really enjoy, when you guys do like the Star Trek Discovery talks, you and Cheeto, like I try to make those myself. I wish my fucking internet at work, worked because I'd love to keep up on it. And I want to join back like once Star Trek comes back on, like Thursdays, if you guys can do the 1 o'clock, like I want to join you guys because like when I come back from my sabbatical, in February, like I want to join you guys again because like the thing that I love about your channel is the fact that you guys are just regular people. Most of the shows that are Trek related are big time people that you can't really connect with, where you and Cheeto and the other people on your channel, they're just regular people that are, they can agree to disagree. there is no agenda. And in fact, you and Cheeto, you disagree all the fucking time. That's
Man,
part of the
oh
charm.
god, yeah, do we? We do we're right now. Book of Boba. That's my friend, Photo Sportive. He's my a friend of mine I used to work with, and we're still being friends ever since. Thanks very much, Photo. Hope you're enjoying your bratwursts in Germany, my friend. Congrats to nerds and the teams
Oh,
in the
bratwurst sounds
region.
so good right now.
Yeah, he's an Englishman like myself, but he has a serious hard on for Germany, don't you, Photo? And that's why he lives in Germany right now. He loves fucking. I don't blame him. I've been to Germany. Germany's fucking awesome, man. I've been to Munich. It's an amazing country. They do things right there, the Germans. You know, German engineering and all of that malarkey. But yeah. But regarding me, myself, and Cheeto, like you've been watching the Book of Boba Fett.
What's that now?
The Book of Boba Fett. You've been watching that?
No, I haven't. I actually like. I've kind of been going through some emotional stuff, so I've been watching Malcolm in the Middle and just watching some dumb
Fair enough.
shit. So.
Fair enough. But in Book of Boba Fett, there are flashbacks, you know, so we understand how you got out the Sarlacc pit and all of that. Okay, and I don't mind them, you know. I think that, but at the same time, a lot of people have a problem with them, including Cheeto, because he wants the story of the modern day to be progressed more than constantly going flashbacks. It's a bit like Arrow in that sense, if you know what I mean. Yeah, but I don't mind them, you know. And so we're arguing over that quite a bit, you know. But anyway, what's William Wells saying? Constar.
He asks, "What's going on with Constar concluded? I would love to be a part of it." Um, all I can say, William, is every day I fluctuate between I fucking want to walk away from fan films and I want to keep going and do a million of them. Realistically, right now I'm just focusing on doing whatever makes me happy at the time. Like I'm doing a video game. Like I'll be doing video game shows on the channel, which is just me playing video games and doing stuff that makes me happy, doing some action figure reviews of my custom action figures, doing kind of reviews of just fun little clips, kind of like what Zam does, because I mean I really enjoy watching those, so I figured I'd do some of my own, just stuff that entertains me, because I have right now these scripts have been sitting here, and there's not many of them, but all of those are probably about maybe 5-minute cameos in each one of those scripts. It probably take them about an hour to do, and they've been sitting there since October, and I just have no desire to fucking film, if I'm being honest. And like I said, every day I fluctuate between, being really enthusiastic and then fucking losing all interest altogether. And that just goes from burnout, and that's where I was in early December, mid-November, and why I took the hiatus from YouTube altogether, because I did last year, I did 24 films for everyone. I did 73 Pizza Roll Diaries.
Fucking hell.
I did 73 Pizza Roll Diaries. I did 20 some Critical Not Cynicals and Fan of Film get-togethers. I did several
the 24 fan films is impressive, dude. Like,
thank you.
If that is it, gee, I mean, that's better than Bollywood, man. I mean, like, Jesus Christ, just.
And that's not including the cameos either,
yeah.
And so it's.
I thought that was that's why I was so impressed, but not including the cameos, that's even more impressive.
So it's including all the content. Like I got into burnout overload. So like, William, to answer your question, and then move on to the next person in the chat. I'm taking things one day at a time, and I'm being a dad. And realistically, I have written 2 scripts since I've taken my break, and I've enjoyed it. But I will probably not film a lot of things until the end of the year, because Mona is going back to school and she will not be done until May. So that needs to be my priority, that and Royce. So that being said, things are coming along slowly. But I mean, you guys got a ton of content from me last year. So that's going to have to hold you over until probably next year. But I will get you in something, William. So, you know, that being said, you know, stay tuned, man. You know, I won't forget you. I never forget any of you guys, man. So, Dave G says, finally, some decent people. Hi, guys. What's up, Dave? You know, it's,
Dave seems like a sound geezer, as we would say in UK. Yeah. Thank you very much, dude. Much appreciated.
yeah, like I said, it's been forever since I've talked to Zam, and yeah, I miss this dude. William says, speaking of action figures, my brother got me a Catman. Well, awesome, man. Good for you, brother.
Catman? What's Catman?
He's one of the bad guys on 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 Batman. So I'm assuming it's probably a Batman Brave and Bold action figure, maybe, because that's the only time I've ever actually seen him. But he's one of Batman's villains.
Interesting. We got a Catwoman and a Catman. Interesting. Okay.
You do. Royce and I were playing Batman the Brave and Bold video game, and during the first level, Robin's talking shit to Batman about, no, it's got to be Catwoman. It's got to be Catwoman. And Batman the whole time's like, don't make judges, Robin. Don't do judgments. We don't know. And it ends up being Catman that's doing it the whole time, and it's like
Is he also a burglar as well?
Yeah. It's okay. Like same motif. Like yeah, and then at the end of it, Catwoman comes in, bitch slaps Catman and fucking grabs the cat statue and everything and runs off. And Robin's like, dude, she double crossed him in a double cross. It's a double cross. And then like Two-Face comes like, and the whole time, like Royce is like shitting his pants the whole time, like, oh, Dad, what happened? I'm like, wow. Like he's loving the game, and I'm just like, that's Batman Brave and Bold. So Photo says, don't believe everything you read about German efficiency, etc. Fake news. Berlin, Brandenburg airport fuck up. Prime example. 8 years behind schedule. Billions over budget. The opening not fit for use.
Don't get me wrong, Photo. I get it. I do get it, but still, you guys are better than us for sure. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to efficiency, I look at maybe most recently the Chinese, whose infrastructure is just absolutely amazing. You know, it should be frightening the rest of the first world regarding, you know, what do we want to be seen as countries when you see the infrastructure happening in China, and obviously the Japanese as well. They're very efficient too. I'll send you a clip, by the way, once we're done, of this guy called Jeremy Clarkson. He's driving through China, and you just see the infrastructure there, and it makes you really upset as somebody, whether you're a British or American. It makes you very upset thinking to yourself, fuck me, look at their infrastructure. Why the hell are we not investing our tax money in shit like that? You know, so that's a whole nother ball game, by the way. Oh, I thought it was Robert Pattinson, but it's Pearson. My bad.
Dude, if Robert Pattinson was on here, I'd be like, see what NerdTube brought to the channel? That you know.
Yeah.
So Robert Pearson says, good afternoon, everyone. I hope you are all having a good start to the new year. It has been a good year so far. You know, could be better, you know, could be worse, but I can't complain, you know. So the fact that NerdTube hit 2,000 people, hell yeah. So, you know,
I just want to, if you don't mind, put the channel in the thingy, because in 20 minutes we do have a fan film reaction coming out on NerdTube of the Wolverine, done by the legendary fan filmmaker Jamie Costa, who, in my opinion, is fan film gold. And if this fucker doesn't get an opportunity to break into Hollywood doing a Robin Williams biopic, I'll be very upset, because there's an opportunity missed right there. But
it's that guy.
Yeah, that guy who did that clip of Robin Williams.
Find
out that John Belushi dies and all that. Yeah.
Put the link in the chat, so we can so everybody in the chat can just hop on over there. And you say that's in 20 minutes?
Yeah, 1 second. I'm all fingers and thumbs right now. Yeah, it starts in. Is it? Oh shit! Maybe no. I've jumped the gun. I apologize. It's on the 25th of January. I thought it was today. 25th of January is my brother's birthday as well. But we did a fan film reaction to Wolverine. This is our second fan film reaction to a Wolverine fan film, funnily enough. And we saw that Well, I'm not sure if we saw that. We saw the one Jimmy Costa did where, and this, like us, we speak our mind. There was a fan film where it was Star Wars, but it was set on Earth. Earth. Yeah, I mean,
I
Star
saw
Wars
that
on
one.
Earth.
I saw that
That was the
review.
one with the fucking Nazis. And then the fucking oh my god, that was so bad. Jamie Costa was in that, by the way, and we
See,
fucking ripped that one. Yeah, we
I
ripped
now
that
know.
film
I
a
now
new
know what it
asshole.
feels like when I watched your review of that. I now know what it's like when people watch my films and they're like, "Is that a Little Caesars in the background?" Motherfucker, what really? Like, god damn it! Like that's. I now know what people are like watching that shit because it's like, oh, it's so out of place. Like, I get it now. I fucking get it. But no, the I saw you guys did the other day, and I knew you guys were going to do it at some point because that was one of my recommendations. Because Chino and I were talking about, I recommended 3 films, and one of them was that Punisher one that you guys have done. Because he said he was like, I've seen it, but I don't think Zam has. I'll have to talk to Zam and see. And I was like, dude, you've got to fucking review it because I want to with Frank, on our channel because it's
I'll give
to
you
me
my
I think
opinion. I'll give you my opinion right now. It was okay, but it just took a little bit too long for Punisher to get into action. All
yeah
right, there's a woman getting the shit beaten out of her. He's not doing jack. Then a kid getting beaten up. What the fuck, Frank? You know what I mean? Yeah, you're still gonna. And like, whilst he's deliberating and chatting to Ron Perlman, this kid's getting could be possibly killed. And so that, but once the action kicked in and he saved their lives and stuff like that, it was very good. That's the hardest Jack Daniels bottle I've ever seen in my life. Um, but uh, but nevertheless, it was good to see Thomas Jane in that role.
yeah
But I was going to actually have a debate with people because I sometimes think people throw the word anti-hero about and they use it in the wrong way. I think of Frank Castle as a hero, but a lot of people consider him to be an anti-hero. An anti-hero to me is Catwoman. That's an
yeah
anti-hero. Yeah, there's somebody who is still who probably knows the difference between major right and wrong. Like she wouldn't, if a woman's getting raped, she'll intervene. At the same time, she might steal some jewelry, afterwards or whatever. You know what I mean? That's an anti-hero, in my opinion. Somebody who is not always on the good side of things. Frank Castle, even though he kills his bad guys, the way John Berfenthal portrayed him on Netflix, he was full on hero. He took a bullet for somebody.
yeah
He wanted to die after when he thought he killed those sex workers. He thought he accidentally killed them. He was willing to die for that. Like some people look at sex workers as degenerate people when they're not at all. But nevertheless, as far as he was concerned, he killed them by accident. He was willing to die for them, even though he never killed them in the first place. There's one young girl thought she killed somebody, and he was consoling her by saying, "Look, don't worry about it." And then he shoots the guy, properly killing him, going, "Look, you didn't kill him, I killed him." All of these sort of things. Those are the moments about him. He's a proper hero, in my opinion. But a lot of people look at him as an anti-hero, and I'll never, especially after the way Frank Castle is portrayed by John Berfenthal. It's very difficult for me to look at him like that. If he's portrayed a bit differently in further adaptations, then maybe we have an argument. Same with Batman as well. Batman's not an anti-hero; he's a fucking hero. When you're willing to put your life on the line to save people, like Frank Castle and Batman
well,
are,
well
your hero.
there's no difference between the only difference between Batman and Captain America is the fact that Captain America will kill. And so the only and
Captain
that's only
America will
because
kill, yeah.
and so there's no real difference between them except for that one line. Batman won't kill unless you're fucking Michael Keaton. Then he's fucking stuffing bombs on fat clowns and shoving them down fucking sewers. But irrelevant. But there's that one line, he won't kill. Captain America will. So okay, looking at that difference, okay, there's a reason why, because Captain America was a soldier. Okay, fine. Now you've made that distinction. Now looking at Punisher and Captain America, the only line is how much they kill. They have the same ethical, distinction of
Yeah.
kill the bad guys. They won't kill civilians. They don't kill kids. They don't kill So the only difference is one kills, if they have, I've got one gun or whatever, and I kill bad guys. The other one says, nope, I got a fucking machine gun. I'm going to fucking mow you bad guys down. So the only difference is the level of how much they're killing. So you're absolutely right. The only distinction is how much and where and whatnot. And so to me, I completely agree with you. It's just people will take that jump from, no, Batman is nothing like the Punisher. No, it's just a level of here to here to here to here, but it's the same. No, there's a wide range of levels, but like you said, when you look at Selena Kyle, she may go steal the jewels or she may go help the people, but Punisher will never look at those jewels and go, oh, let me take that. He's not interested in that. He's interested in, I got to go kill those fucking monsters because they're bad guys. So no, you're absolutely right. He's not an anti-hero, but people look at that and they go, oh, but he kills. But so does Captain America. But you really have to look at it from, yep. So William Wells says, I got to wrap this up because I heard Mona get home real quick. So real quick in the chat, William Wells says, what do you think about them working on the Quantum Leap reboot for Peacock? For me, honestly, I could give a shit less. I mean, I'll probably watch a couple episodes and see. I heard it's not going to have. Obviously, you can't have Dean Stockwell because he's passed away. And I heard it's not going to have Sam Beckett. I don't think it's going to work if it doesn't.
Scott Bakula.
Yeah, Scott Bakula. Yeah. To me, I'm not really interested if it doesn't, at least in some way, have them. However, I'll give it a chance because I think my rule has always been give something 3 episodes. If you don't like it, fucking drop it, and that's in a series. Like I was that way with Arrow. If Arrow gives me 3 bad episodes, I'm fucking done. And I did. So I'll give it a shot. What do you think, man?
I just wish they never made it in the first place. Like, for fuck's sake, like you don't need like this. Quantum Leap is one of the earliest shows I ever watched from start to finish. Like the ending was absolutely superb, very bittersweet.
Yeah, trash.
You didn't like it?
No, I loved the show. I didn't like the ending because the ending, like he never finds his way home, and to me, it's like,
yeah, but he never wanted to. It's not like he didn't want to. He could have, but he wanted to keep helping people, which is why he never. That's how I looked at it. He never went home because he wanted to keep helping people, and
to me that felt about as empty. I mean, I understand why, and I get that. But to me, as a kid, it felt about as hollow as Tasha Yar's death. So to me, it was
very I think it's very original, though. Like he finally comes home and all of that. It was and I wasn't a big fan of the God angle. I'll be honest with you. Once they started making it all religious, that was a bit. But there was a moment where he was like that devil side of it as well, where you found out there was one woman who was working for the devil and all of that, and trying to fuck things up, and that's how she ended up leaping and all of that. But other than that, it's a very good show.
Yeah,
it doesn't need to be resurrected. I think it's going to flop. I really do. I think it's going to flop. Like Quantum Leap nowadays, I just don't think it will hold people's attention like it did in the past.
Yeah, no, I don't need it. Not with everything else, because I mean at the time it was original.
Woke. They'll fucking call it woke, with the amount of shit he was dealing with, racism and women's rights and all these sort of things. They bring it out now, they'll call that shit woke, and it's fucking ridiculous because it wasn't woke then, but it will be woke now. It's ridiculous. It was ahead of its time in that sense. The religious angle is stupid.
It's I don't think with so many options out there, like sadly television is just so oversaturated. I think it'll be lost. I mean, Quantum Leap was original at the time because really the only time travel stuff you had was maybe Back to the Future. There was I forget what it was,
Machine and all of that.
Yeah, it was very limited. But now it's like
Time Tunnel was awesome.
Now you have so many things where it'll be lost among the shuffle. Yeah, Robert Pearson says no. Al has to be Dean Stockwell, no Quantum Leap. Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I think if you don't bring back the originals, you kind of just don't have anything. Robert Pearson says 2 biggest Boy Scouts are Superman and Captain America, yet they both kill. Batman has the scariest. Who is the scariest? Doesn't.
I have no problem, by the way, with Batman being a killer. By the way, Val Kilmer killed Two-Face. People always forget that in Batman Forever. But nevertheless, I have no problem.
And George Clooney killed a franchise.
Well, I blame a bit of Joel Schumacher on that as well. Even though he's a fantastic director, he made one of my favorite movies in Falling Down with Michael Douglas. Which have you seen that? Please tell me you've seen that.
Yeah, dude, fucking great. Dude, oh
One of
man,
these.
you
I
talk
love
about a
that
guy
film.
breaking. Oh, well, he also did The Client, which was a great fucking movie. Many people
Yeah,
forget
yeah.
that. Like
I
it
like.
was,
Yeah,
it was
I
great.
like it
Falling
when you're
Down in The
focusing on
Client.
the bad guys. Yeah, when you're focusing on the villain more, like American Psycho and things like
Yep.
that. Time Bandits, yeah. By the way, Time Bandits is awesome. I heard they're going to be doing a remake on that. They really need to do a sequel. Please tell me you've seen Time Bandits.
No.
Oh, that's unfortunate. It's about these little people. I'm about to say the M word, but these little people who are time bandits, so to speak. It's got that Monty Python S to it, but it's made by Terry Gilliam, who was the American Monty Python member, who's done many films like Baron Munchausen and Brazil and 12 Monkeys and stuff like that as a director. But yeah, they might do that. Oops, sorry, darling. Sliders, yeah, they need to reboot Sliders. Sliders was so good. And what's his name? The guy who plays fucking Gimli and played Salah in Indiana Jones, the actor's name escapes me. He was in Sliders, the original
Yep.
series, and he was
Yep.
really pissed off with the direction they were going because he knew they were onto something really good, but then they went on this stupid fucking bubblegum direction, and it ended up being the death of that show. And they started killing. You had four main characters. Once the four main characters were all gone, like who gives a fuck if whoever these other guys are? You want to see the four main characters get home. Time Bandits is fantastic. Got Sean Connery in it as well with a cameo. It's so good, man. Yeah. It's really good. It's a bit of a kids film as well. It's a bit of, like it's one of, in the 80s. Like the kids films were very dark in the 80s,
They
and
were.
they were super dark and I loved them for that. Like I was
Yeah.
talking to Cheeto yesterday about how in the Goonies they made a comical scene of Chunk being locked in a refrigerator with a dead body, and they made comedy out of that. Like how would they would never even consider doing that
No.
nowadays?
No,
Of a
that's
kid being locked in a freezer with a
no,
dead body.
no, and that's so
So yeah,
sad because it's like I feel like I don't like don't get me wrong, like
thank you, Steve. Yeah.
I have a lot of fun with Royce. And I don't shield him from everything, but I think a lot of times, parents these days, they go so far out of their way to protect their kids from everything that when reality fucking hits, they don't know how to handle it. It's like, man, when we were kids watching movies, like some of that shit, like what? Oh my God, and that's, they're not ready for when reality fucking hits them, like some of the shit that we watched when we were kids would not fly today. Hell, some of the shows that came out 10 years ago wouldn't fly today. That was one reason why I don't know if you've ever watched the American version of The Office.
Yeah, I have with Steve Carell. Yes,
Yeah, but it's my favorite show. It trumps even Star Trek, and that a lot of people. Um,
he's real. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, Photo says
Guinness is
Goonies is
legendary.
legendary. Daniel Vance, real quick, says Nerdtube, fuck the world. Zam, Cheeto, Boss Man. They even got Xanta for the holidays. yes,
Oh
yes,
yeah.
they did. um, but Steve Carell. A lot of people they're surprised when I say that The Office is my favorite, above Star Trek, and it is because it's like you can when you're depressed, you watch it, it makes you happy. You look at it and you're like, man, I know that person, I know that person, I recognize that person.
It's cringily funny, by the way. It's
Yeah,
cringily funny. I
it
remember
was.
this, like with that Indian when they had that office Christmas party, and he goes like, the spicy curry award goes to the only Indian member of staff in our fucking office.
It's
You
so
know what I mean?
it's so
I'm
fucked
laughing
up.
my ass off, like, like,
It's yeah,
of
it's
course
so
it's gonna go to.
like when he's like it's so it's so fucked up because it's like we all know somebody, we all know a boss. It's been like Michael Scott. We all know someone that acts like Dwight. We all know like a weird, creepy person like Creed. We all know that drunk that's like fucking uh I forget who that redhead is. We all know the snooty person that's like Angela. Like we all know people that are like this. And that's so I love that. But Steve Carell, they asked, hey, if they ever do an Office reboot, would you want to do it? And he was like, I don't think The Office would actually work today because people are so sensitive. It wouldn't work. And that I completely agree. And I feel like it's the same way with with what some of the kids watch is they're too protected. I remember when I was a kid, like I watched, Friday the 13th, Halloween, like shit like that. Whereas like, my mom was like, fine, you can watch it if you want, but if you get scared, don't come crying to me. I was like, oh shit, okay.
Dude,
Fuck man, I
dude,
got
they made
scared.
toys. They made
What's that?
toys out of Robo. They made toys from RoboCop and Terminator. These were
Mm-hmm.
adult films. RoboCop 1 and 2 and 3, even though it's shit. And the first couple of Terminators, they were adult orientated movies, Yet they ended up making a toy line out of this shit. We were talking about this yesterday, Daniel. Daniel Vance, who was with us as well. Like, I remember watching all of this stuff as a kid, all these 80s films, all these Arnie films, Predator. I love that fucking movie so much. Commando,
Yeah.
Rambo, First Blood, First Blood Part 2, and all of these things. Cobra, oh my god, and all of these such great classics of the 80s. And I
Yeah.
was, I was a kid. I was not even a young man. I was a child, and I watched that shit, and I love that shit, And I'm totally fine from watching that,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
yeah, in the
so
70s, yeah.
so with that being said,
Death Wish. Yeah.
we've what was supposed to be a 10-minute video. We've I think we've more than made up for being 10 minutes late. But we're gonna cut the video short because I hear Mona in the other room watching Voyager now, and Rufus is going ballistic, getting all excited. That being said, I want to say congratulations to you, Cheeto, Boss Man, everybody on your staff, all your friends on NerdTube. You guys are extended family of this channel.
Thank you.
You guys are, because I mean, and like I said yesterday when you and I were going back and forth on the voice thing, which again I missed that, driving and recording the voice thing and then waiting for your message. I feel like it's the early days of text when you send a text and then you're like, did I get a text? Oh, not yet. Did I get a text? Oh, not yet. If it's
Yeah.
but I miss you guys. You guys are our fucking extended family, because I spend so much time at work and I'm very choosy on how I spend my time. There's a link to NerdTube, guys. It's in the chat, so go, if you guys are in the chat, click on that. If you guys haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. They're great people. But I'm very choosy on how I spend my time. And when I do, when I don't have Royce around, or I don't have Mona around, or I don't, I want to spend it with you guys talking about geek shit, and to see you guys hit that 2,000 mile mark, it is an event, it's an accomplishment, because some channels never reach there. For me to hit my first 1,000, I think I was online for, I think, like 11 years, because I mean, I never put heart into it. I didn't care. And then the next, it took me like maybe 2 years or a year or something to get the next. For you guys, I see you guys surpassing us pretty quickly. And I said that, 6 months ago. I was like, oh, they're going to go far. And I still see that because you guys have heart. And it's great to stand here and be a part of that when you guys ask us. And, I think we're going to be doing a show on Friday nights, chatting with you guys about geek stuff, but it's great to see you guys do your thing. And, when I listen to a show, I feel like, even though I'm not a part of the show, I feel like I'm with you guys in spirit, I know these guys, and, it's you guys have like-mindedness, so, congratulations,
Thank
you
you
can
very much.
see your heart in the programs, people relate to it.
I just want to cap this off by saying rest in peace, Meatloaf. I couldn't believe he died today. He was 74. I never knew he was that old.
Yeah.
But yeah, good actor, fantastic musician. Unfortunately, he was a Trump supporter, but nevertheless, that could be forgiven. Now he's passed away. But yes, he will do anything for love, and hopefully he will do that as well. Rest in peace, Meatloaf. You were an inspiration to me, for sure. So, yeah.
Well, with that being said, we'll be doing something Friday nights in February, and I look forward to that. Um, that being said, everybody in the chat, thank you for joining us. Zam, as always, pleasure to chat with you, my friend.
Thank you.
Everybody, be genuine, be safe, and keep on geeking on, guys.